Namaste, everyone. Welcome to this new series, Karma Demystified. I'm so happy that we are starting this series today. We have been studying Bhagavad Gita for the past couple of years, and this session was created because of a lot of questions we used to get in the Bhagavad Gita class. A lot of people wanted to understand what is karma, what is the intricacies of karma, what exactly is the law of karma? Is karma is a fate? So we received a lot of questions and we thought it would be great to start a new series on karma. So I would request Avanti to give a quick introduction about the series and then we can get quickly started.
To all of you to our series, Karma Demystified. I'll begin with one verse, chapter 4, verse 17, just as a cautionary note. The verse goes, Karmano yapi bodhavyam cha akarmanaha, akarmanascha bodhavyam, gahana karmano gatihi. When you translate it word for word, it simply means one must understand what is right action, what is wrong action, what is inaction. This is the most important line, for truly the ways of karma are deep and difficult to fathom. So basically the undertone of this verse, or rather outright declaration of Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, is that even the wisest minds cannot fully map how karma unfolds. The countless actions, the intentions, the samskaras, the vasanas, and ultimately the divine will, how they all come together to even make a single outcome. So what it's trying to say is that don't presume that you can grasp the whole mechanics of the cosmos while being in it. As I'm sure all of you who've come to this session, this is not the first time you all are hearing the word karma. This is not the first time that you all are listening to karma stories. I'm sure there's so many reels, there are thousands and thousands of reels and thousands of explanations online right now. You just type karma and you'll have the greatest of gurus and the sincerest of householders relating their understanding of karma. And you're here because we still haven't understood it. So it is not possible to fully grasp it. But that is the beauty and the irony of our subject, Karma Demystified. What we are trying over here is not to tell you all the be-all and end-all of something that even Krishna says is impenetrable. But what we are trying to do is to remove as many veils as we can together so that we can understand how to live better. We stopped at verse 25 in chapter 2 for those who are regular attendees of our class. And for those who are not, I would highly encourage you all to join the class even after this series. We stopped at verse number 25 where we understood what our essential nature is and how futile it is to be stuck in the nonsense that we call our interactions with the world. But before we can reach there is this whole section in our lives where we have to understand how to act, what to do. And this is what these beautiful 12 sessions, very painstakingly put together, are going to help you all with. So we will simplify as much as we can. We will try and work this together to understand that there are 4 kinds of people. The first kind is who many things happen in their life and they sit back and say, why did this happen to me? This one caused it, that one caused it. There's the second kind of people who I think most of us are. We've come in contact with the knowledge. We have started understanding the knowledge. So after we do something, immediately we understand, oh my God, I shouldn't have done this. It's going to bear some consequences. There are third kind of people who, while doing something, they are caught in between because the knowledge has gone in so deep. They're caught right in between. Oh my God, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be saying this. So you stop there And then there are the fourth kind of people who all of us, hopefully after 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, should be, where before you even do anything, you're fully cautious and you don't do it. So that is what we're going to try and do, because this whole thing of karma demystified, yes, it's a bit audacious on our part to say we will demystify karma, but I think it's even more audacious on the part of humanity to live in a world without even trying to understand how it works. So every aspect, I've consistently said in all our classes, Bhagavad Gita builds verse upon verse upon verse upon verse until you get the whole picture. But like Rajesh ji rightly said, that this question about karma keeps popping up, even if you're not talking about karma. So what we're going to do is right from chapter 1 to chapter 18, wherever there is karma mentioned, all sorts of karma, right from the definition of karma to whichever way it is portrayed in the Gita and in the Upanishads, we will put it forward to you all so that you yourself can join pieces of the puzzle and understand for yourself what karma means against the backdrop of your own life. What we will highly encourage you to do is take notes. Each session, take notes. Try and start piecing these pieces of puzzle together, because yes, you've heard many things about karma, but when working individuals who are in the corporate field, who are in the home setup, understand karma from the Bhagavad Gita standpoint and relay their understandings, because most of us are householders here, you all will understand it better. So pay attention. As was mentioned, please try and put on your video. I'll tell you at another time why that putting on the video is important. Try and put on your video so you're more interactive and listen in carefully. Let's begin. Karma Demystified, demystifying the unmystifiable. Good luck with that.
That's a great introduction. So let's get started. So I put the slides in the chat. So we are using new technology. If you want, you can click on that link. You will see exactly what I'm moving. Like when I am transitioning the slide, that slides will move. So if you want to watch along, please do that. And this Saturday or Sunday, we will share a newsletter with the summary and the slides. So you have everything you need. So with that, we can get started. So the purpose of this class, as Avanti was highlighting, is to understand the logic of karma. Because most of the times, we take karma as an excuse. If something I cannot do, I'll say that it is my karma. Sometimes we say that it is my karma, I cannot do anything. I'm helpless. It's God's will. So I have to accept it. I have to accept after putting my effort. Even before putting the effort, I use karma as an excuse. And even though everybody, each one of us have heard the word karma, if I ask you what exactly is karma, I will get, if I ask 30 people, I will get 50 answers. And even I ask one person 2 times, I get 2 answers. You can Google karma. Like every standard dictionary in English has defined karma. But you would see different definitions. So this word, even though it is familiar to all, we think that we know the meaning of karma, but often we don't know the meaning of karma. Or we don't have that clarity of this word karma. And that is what we are trying to unfold. Most of the people think this as a mystic word. Karma is and mysticism. There is some mysticism in the word karma. And that is what we are trying to unfold. No, this is not very mystic. And we are trying to understand through a logical angle, and we are trying to understand through a scriptural angle. And fortunately, both matches. And what we are going to use is we are going to take this journey of karma through Vedānta. Because Vedānta is one of the body of knowledge which emphasize on logic. Vedānta don't want you to believe something blindly. So if there is a karma, Vedānta will explain what exactly is this karma, what is the impact of this karma on me, and how can I live a life aligned with the law of karma, and how beneficial it is. All that we will cover. And so we are going to learn and apply this knowledge in our day-to-day life so that our day-to-day life becomes more efficient, more meaningful, more fruitful. So let's take that journey. So we'll cover the session in 40-45 minutes, and 15 minutes we can have any question and answers. So why this topic matters? Karma influences everything we do. Whether you sit and think, whether you feel something, whether you physically act, everything is karma. And you cannot stay without doing karma even for a second. In the 3rd chapter, Krishna tells, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu kartavya akarmanaha. Nobody in this universe, not even for a second, can stay without karma. So that much important karma is. Without karma, there is no life. And you cannot stay, not even a moment, without karma. So that is the importance of this karma. So if we are engaged something 24/7, from womb to tomb, don't we need to understand that? And the second reason why this topic is very important is, this is the most misunderstood topic. People feel that the life is unfair. If you understand karma, life becomes a little bit more meaningful, a little bit more purposeful. Every experience in life, you take it as a learning. So knowing the karma is going to give you the clarity, strength, and self-responsibility. Rather than believing in a fatalistic belief system, karma will make you more responsible. And that is the importance of this topic. So, before we jump into the law of karma, let's try to understand some of the big life questions. Most of the times we hear this question in the Gita classes. Why do good people suffer? Rama himself has to go through such struggle. Yudhishthira, the most dharmishta person in the whole universe, has to go through the lot of suffering. This was very well explained in the Vanaparva of the Mahabharata. And then the second question is, do we have any will? Yes, we know that we don't have complete free will, but if everything is a will of God, are we just helplessly following that? If the destiny is pre-designed, are you coming to the world saying that, okay, this is going to happen to you, you are going to do this, you are going to do that, you are going to behave this way, you are going to behave that way? Then what is the point? What is the point of dharma? If everything is a will of God and everything is predetermined, what is the value of what is the point in living a conscious life? Because anyway, meaning if I make a mistake, I will just give an excuse. Yeah, that is what is written for me. I've seen that many times. So, and then another popular question is, if God is just, why does the life often, not even sometimes, I would say often, you feel that it is unfair to me? I put a lot of effort, but I may not get that much result. A lot of times, good people suffer. What is the explanation of all these things? And why do similar action leads to different results for different type of people? Isn't it? That's very popular question. And then what determines the circumstances of our birth, relationship, and success? Some of us was born into some conducive circumstances. Some of us, like, it is completely unconducive circumstances. These are some of the big questions of life. Nobody has answers. Most of the time, the popular religions will tell, it's a will of God and you don't have any questions or authority to ask that. It's predetermined. Vedānta is not like that. So this is why the study of karma is very important. So these questions these questions, these universal questions, every culture in the world sought the law behind this life of fairness. Most of the Semitic religions conclude that it is the will of God. You do not have much control. But Vedanta reveals karma as the moral and psychological law of cause and effect. See, you can see some law, some order everywhere in the universe without fail. So, in the physical world, you can see some laws governing the universe. Simple example. If you drop an apple, what happens? It will fall down 9.8 seconds per second. Precisely, right? And you can see the earth spinning in its own axis in 24 hours. We know that the earth spins around the sun in 365 days. And you can see a precise law in the physical world. In the physiological world also, you can see a precise law. You know how the heart, how your body works. If you pause and close your eyes and think for a minute, you cannot but appreciate that law. Even the whole medical science works because of that law. Because nobody has tested the medicine in your body. But if the medicine is work for one human being, we know that, yeah, this is because the whole system is designed by a law. So like that, in the psychological, ethical, moral world, there is a law. That invisible law is known as law of karma. So karma is not a belief. It is an observation of the universal law, universal order. This is what very important. So this law of karma, step by step, unfolds the harmony, justice, and learning within this entire universe. So please understand that. So the karma is a natural law of the universe, just like gravity is a natural law in the physical world, and like your physiological world, there is a law like that in the psychological, and law of cause and effect in the world. That is law of karma. This is what you need to understand. So let's continue. The next point is, say, how the understanding of the karma like help you. There were two colleagues. One person always blames on the situation. I'm going to take the example of a farmer, just joking. Two farmers were there. One person, I know this, that's why this is a real example I'm talking. There was no rain. One person sat and cried, oh my God, this is my fate, this is my karma, etc. The second person, what he did, he created a business on rainwater harvesting. That is the difference. So the one person, the people who just say that, okay, this is law of karma, I'm helpless, the other person finds an opportunity. Take this and experience and learn, right? So the whole idea you need to understand is, if you are going through some situation, there is a cause behind that. Every effect will have a cause. And the popular example given by the scripture is, if you plant a mango seed, don't expect lemon from that. Another beautiful example. If you look at a mirror, it will not lie. Yes, of course, you can make up and cheat the mirror, but you cannot cheat the law of karma. What goes in is going to come back for sure. It may not be today, it may take some time, but definitely it will come back. Do you know about this bamboo tree? So this bamboo tree, what happens is it takes so many, like lot of time to sprout. But once it sprouts, it comes out. So sometimes it may take for this law of karma to fructify. But understand that what goes out, it is going to come back. Guaranteed. Just like gravity works. Just like your circular, meaning all the systems in your body works. Law of karma works like that. This is very important. Let's continue. So some common misconception. Before jumping, let's clear this one, right? So true knowledge is going to help you to understand karma properly. The first myth, karma is a punishment from the God. So karma is not God's anger, but it is God's order, God's law. All the natural laws of the universe has God laws. That's how we call it. So karma is definitely not God's anchor, but its order. So the karma or the life teaches through the experience. It is not to take revenge on you. Meaning, you see some people say that I am a God of revenge. Absolutely not. God is not like that. So life teaches, if I get an experience, it is for my education and experience. This law restores the balance, but with compassion. It always gives you an opportunity. So karma is not a punishment from God. Karma is the teacher, not the judge. That's myth number one. Myth number two is karma means fate. Everything is prefixed. The truth is, the past action set the condition, the present choice shapes the outcome. A very good example for you to consider here is, let's say that you all know the game of cricket. Imagine that you are a good batsman. You go to the pitch to bat. What type of pitch you get, it's not in your hand, right? Sometimes it's a completely pitch favorable for batting. So even if you throw the bat, you will hit a boundary. And sometimes what is going to happen? The ball will not come to the bat at all. Even if you do the best shot, you will get an edge. So that's not in your hand. But how do you adjust your game? How do you play your game is completely in my hand. So that's what it is. So the past actions or the karma is going to set some conditions or some environment. How do I play in that playground is completely in my hand. That's what happens. And the past set the condition, and the present choice creates the change. You have complete control over how to play and how to shape your future with your current actions. So karma is not fatalistic. You have complete control on how to act and how to change your future with your present action. So you are not you are co-creators. You are not victims. This is very important. Karma gives you the stage, and your will, your effort writes the script. That's the difference. This is a big myth. A lot of people take karma as a fate. Karma is not the fate. We are going to see scriptural validation for each one of these points in the upcoming session. Today, I'm just giving an overview. So then, a lot of people think that good is reward, bad is pain. Please don't look at that. So some people, they suffer. People say that, okay, they have done some papa in the past and they're bad people, so they should not be allowed in temple. They should be kept out. This was like a cancer in our culture. So good means reward. If somebody is not living in a great circumstances, that's not an excuse for anybody to blame them. Truth is, karma is neutral. Both pleasant and unpleasant results has their own lessons for me. So don't blame anybody because of your bad karma, you got sick, something like that. Absolutely not. This is not to judge anybody. Karma means it is giving me an environment depending upon my evolution. Two people went to the hospital. One with a stomach infection and the other one with a muscle pain in my hand. The first one was ordered to give the best food in the world. The second one was asked, just Gatorade. So can I say that the doctor is impartial? Depending on my condition, I am given the treatment. So depending upon my life circumstances, my stage in the spiritual progress, I am I have to play certain situation. I have to be in certain situation. So if you understand that, your attitude towards the situation will change. This is what we have to learn from the law of karma. Let's continue. So the next point is karma is instant. This particular idea came very recently, especially in the West. When I talk to a lot of people, they say that instant karma. Karma manifests when at appropriate time. It can manifest as soon as the next split second, or it can manifest even life after life after life. So that's very important. So karma unfold with precision, not haste. That is very important. Every quote I am putting here, it is from the scriptures. Karma unfolds with precision, not with haste. So don't expect that, oh my God, if the results was instant, imagine each one of our case. Swami Chinmayananda used to joke, if the karma was instant, what would have been happened to all the mosquitoes? That was his joke. So this is very important. So these are some of the myths related to karma. Let's continue. So let's move on to the next topic, the meaning and the nature of the karma. So the first point is, so what exactly is this karma? The word karma in Sanskrit comes from the root kri. Kri means to act. You might have heard the word kriya. Kriya means, it also came from the root kri. It means to act, to do, or to create. So the explanation of the word karma is kriyate iti karma, that which is done. In other words, another way of explaining it is that which you perform with a karana is karma. Karana means an instrument of your body. So whatever you do with your body, or whatever you do with your mind, whatever you do with your intellect is karma. Both bahya karanas and antakarana. Karana means an instrument. It can be an outer instrument or it can be an inner instrument. Outer instrument means it can be your 5 organs of perception, or it can be your 5 organs of action, and it can be all the inner organs, anything you can touch and feel. Then antakarana is your mind, intellect, everything. So any feeling you have, that is karma. Right? Any thought you entertain, that is also karma. Look at the scope of karma. So your heart pumps 24/7. So some of these karmas are voluntary, some of them are involuntary. We are going to talk all about this. But anything you do with a karana is karma. And karma, another meaning of karma is, there are 2 meanings. One is obviously the act, the action. The second meaning of the karma is, it is the law that connects the cause and effect. Right? So it is the law that connects the cause and effect. Cause means why a certain condition or circumstances are given to me, or it is the law that governs the cause and effect. So these are the 2 definitions of karma. So karma, it shapes our life based on our previous and present choices. Very important. The law that governs, connect the cause and effect, shapes our life, provide us with certain circumstances, put us into certain conditions based on previous and present choice. How do I act now in that condition is completely in my hand. But what puts me into that circumstances is karma. So 2 meaning of karma. This, please make sure that you, today from the class, this is the only thing I request you. Please go back with this precise meaning of 2 meaning of the word karma. Karma means it can be an action, Anything you do with your body, mind, and intellect is karma, right? So karma is not mystical. It is mathematics. You can precisely define that. And then the second law is the law that connecting the cause and the results. This is karma. Please have these two definitions in your mind. Okay. So the next one is there are 3 types of karma. We are going to dice and slice karma many times, so don't worry about that. On the high level, there are 3 types of karma. The first karma is known as kaikam karma. Anything you do with your physical body. The second one is called vachikam karma. Anything you do with your verbal actions, speech. The third one is manasam karma. Anything you do with your mind, thought, feeling, or intention. Those who do the prayers, there are 3 types of prayers. Exactly each karma, every prayer is a karma also. So prayer means it's a mimicking of the worldly action. So vachikam, like the prayers are, there is a vachikam, manasam, and kaikam. Kaikam, the prayer is known as puja. When you do a puja, you physically do something, right? And mentally, meaning that is what is puja. Vachikam means chanting or recitation. Manasam means it is meditation. So there you see a correlation there. Like that, I think about going to New York. That is manasam karma. Vachikam karma is I'm going to tell you all I'm going to New York tomorrow. That is vachikam. And I take a bus and going or train going to New York. That is kaikam. So this is there. So anything, basically, it complements the definition I told earlier, right? Anything you do with your body, mind, or intellect is karma. Kaikam, vachikam, manasam. So every word you speak, every thought you entertain, it is going to create its own echo in the world of karma. So that means you cannot say that, okay, I didn't physically do it, but I only mentally visualized. In the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, you hear later part, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangastesho Pajayati. So you may not physically indulge in an activity, but mentally indulging is also karma. Each has its own different effect, but understand that that's also karma. Okay, so let's continue. The next topic is, what is the cycle of karma? So it starts with an intention. It's a manasam karma, and sometimes you speak, then you have a physical action, and then there will be a result of the action, and also the result can be 2 types of results. Let's say that I'm helping somebody by giving them $100. I saw that somebody is suffering. I am helping them with $100. So what is manasam karma? I saw him suffering. I had an intent. Okay, let me do something. I can spare $100. So I made that intention. And action is what? I told him, here is $100, and I physically handed over $100. And what is the physical or immediate visible result? I am less, meaning I lost $100. He gained $100. I felt happy. I received a thanks. I felt good. All that are physical result. And these result, which manifest immediately, which is visible to me, it is known as drishtabhala. So every karma produces 2 types of results. One is known as drishtabhala, and the other one is known as adrishtabhala. Adrishtabhala means it's very subtle. It creates some impressions immediately in my mind. This act of giving $100, immediately gives something in my as a mental impression. It stores something in my mind as samskara, as mental impression. And what happens? This is will manifest as karma or some circumstances later in my life. Here, the law of work precisely in the sense, even the dhanam in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 17, you will see there are 3 types of dhanam: Sattvika dhanam, Rajasika dhanam, Tamasika dhanam. Sattvika dhanam means I want to genuinely help him. Rajasika dhanam means what? So I will give $100, but I will spend $500 to take a newspaper guy or a TV channel along with me so that the whole world knows that I gave the donation. So I'm giving the donation not for anything else but to get a publicity. That is also not bad. Krishna tells it's okay, mediocre. And the third one is what? I want to give $100, but my goal is to cheat somebody or loot something. That is Tamasya Dana. And the Adrishta Phala, you can cheat with the Drishta Phala and the world, but you cannot cheat the Adrishta Phala. So this is what it is. Every moment, plant the seed for tomorrow. This is the quote. Every moment, whatever you think, whatever you say, whatever you do, plant the seed for tomorrow. This is the cycle of karma. Okay. So what is this karma and Ishvara? We have talked about Ishvara or the God of the universe as not as somebody sitting over the sky. I'm not going to explain Ishvara again because we have explained this many times earlier. Understand Ishvara as the cosmic intelligence governing the entire universe. If there is a law, there has to be a governance factor which ensures that all the laws are followed properly. The Vedas tells, because of his presence, the wind flows. Because of his presence, the sun gives the light. Because of his presence, the whole universe functions. And that intelligent order is known as Ishvara. So the Ishvara's responsibility is to ensure that all the laws are maintained and executed properly in the law. So naturally, karma is a law. So it is the cosmic intelligence governing the law of karma is Ishvara. That's what is Ishvara and karma. And Ishvara is known as Karma Phaladata, the one who connects the cause and the effect. You can cheat the world, but you cannot cheat the natural order law. So Ishvara is known as Karma Phaladata. Not that he is going to favor you. No, Ishvara will not favor you. If Ishvara will favor you, he is not Ishvara, right? So Ishvara is the Karma Phaladata. And the whole universe runs under this moral order. Ishvara connects every cause into the result. Karma is fair and never ever random. So in the cosmic order, nothing is random. Everything is just. This is what Yudhishthira tells to Draupadi in Mahabharata. In the Vanaparva, when Pandavas were struggling a lot, Draupadi asked, why? Why me? And this is the answer he was given. The cosmic order, nothing is random. Everything is just. Understand that. Okay, let's quickly continue. So the whole idea is we cannot avoid karmas. Even we sit idle, it is karma. You are doing something. And this awareness turns karma into growth. So just randomly living is to act when you are conscious of the law of karma. When you act in line with the law of karma, that karma becomes yoga. We are going to see about that. So that time the karma becomes karma yoga. So we are going to see this after a few classes, and we are going to come back and deep dive into that in Bhagavad Gita. But we are going to touch upon this a little bit later. So this is the conscious living. So as I said, like the essence of the karma is, it is the moral, psychological cause and effect. Every action produces a precise reaction, and the law is precise, impartial, and compassionate. It's like the gravity of the inner world, karma. So meaning, one example, every action is a seed. The results are ripened when the conditions mature. So the law of karma ensures exact correspondence between the seed and fruit. Remember the example I told? If you plant a mango, you won't get a lemon. What we plant today becomes a harvest tomorrow. This is very important, and we need to keep this in mind. So why understanding of this karma is critical in our life? So it establishes accountability and trust. Without this law of karma, everything is the will of God. And my prayer is to please that God, praise that God. God doesn't need our praise. Shiva's glory will not go even an iota bit high because I praised, or because of one small offering I made. Absolutely not. So Ishvara is impartial. So karma establishes that accountability to me. Nothing in life is accidental. And seeing divine order brings peace, not fear. The law is not bind you, it educates you. That's what it is. Why this is matters. And when we do not understand karma, what is going to happen? We blame everything. We feel guilty or helpless. We respect unconscious reaction. So this is why understanding of the law of karma is very important. And if we understand karma, we see events as educational, not as punishment. We respond instead of reacting. And we practice prasada bhavana, graceful acceptance. And we put our best to get the best. After putting the best, we will leave the rest. So, living karma consciously, every choice plants a seed for the future. So, my current action is what is going to shape future. So, awareness before the action creates harmony. So, this is mindful action is the gateway for the inner freedom. So, the goal is to understand karma isn't a control, it's freedom from bondage. And this awareness leads to acceptance, and acceptance leads to peace. When every act becomes conscious, the life itself becomes a meditation. And this is the definition of mindfulness. The whole mindfulness comes from this thought only. So that's what we wanted to cover in the first session. So karma, it is the action and the laws that governs the moral law of the cause and effect. Karma is educational. It is not for punishment. And the past create the circumstances, and the present create the future. And this awareness turns karma into yoga. And understanding karma is the first step towards the spiritual progress. So this is what we wanted to cover in the first session. And in the next session, what we are going to cover is the scope and classification of the karma. There are 4 types of karma we need to know. Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, Kamya karma, and Prayaschitta karma. And we need to know that. And we are going to dice and slice the karma. Each of this we will go slowly and step by step. That's why we are taking 12 classes. We are going to cover every reference of karma coming in Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. That's why it's taking a little bit of time, but we are sequencing it nicely. So today we understood what is karma. Please make sure that you understand that 2 definitions and some of the myths. With that, let me pass to Avanti for any additional comments she has.
Beautifully covered everything. Like I suggested, I hope you all have taken notes, because as we wade through the Gita, these notes are going to make what we are going to study even easier, because now when you get the full picture of karma, it'll become easier, as because Krishna brings it in bits and pieces. You see, it is like a Jenga. So once you have the whole overview, you'll be able to understand it quite immediately. So very quickly, just to sum up some points in practical sense, so that you all have some very, very strong takeaways to take home from this session. Just look at a few of the questions that were raised here. Why do good people suffer? Please write this down in capital letters. Why do good people suffer? And meditate on this question for yourself, especially for people who have been studying the Bhagavad Gita with us. We have taken a great deal of effort to explain what is good. If you all can jog your memory a little, Rajeshji had explained the word panditaha. Who's panditaha? Not somebody who knows the scriptures, but who's had these experiences. So if you are truly good, and if you have been with the scriptures for a while, you will be able to reflect back on the fact that I am not the Atma. I am the Atma. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. And we have just finished studying till verse number 25 that the Atma is not the doer. And if the Atma is not the doer, then the Atma is not the one who accrues any karma. And if the Atma doesn't accrue any karma, and you are lodged into that understanding that you are something beyond this body, mind, intellect, and circumstance, you are not going to suffer. So, good people, if you're truly, truly good, no matter what happens to you in your life, you will not suffer, quote unquote, suffer. So, very, very important to meditate on this. There's another line that will come up later by Krishna, Na me bhakta pranashyati, where he declares, my bhakta will never come to destruction. And the immediate question from all class members is, hello, I have been a bhakta for so long. Every moment I'm being destroyed. At home, I'm being destroyed. I'm being destroyed. Please unmute whoever is. Everywhere I'm being destroyed. Left, right, and center, I'm being destroyed. So what is Krishna saying? A true bhakta will not be bothered by that suffering. That destruction is that suffering. Let what comes come, let what goes go. Krishna was cursed, he's going to be killed unfairly. He was killed, he smiled. I went to that tree in Gujarat, Prabhas, in that place where Krishna was lying and his toe was mistaken for a deer's ear and he was shot. There was no, in every Krishna's life, if you see from beginning to end, before he was born only he had to be killed. And right to the end, even the way he died, his entire progeny killed each other and went, we are so worried all the time. My son is doing this, my daughter is doing this. Front of Krishna's eyes, his entire progeny was destroyed. And yet that smile never left his face. So good people, if you are really good, you will not suffer. Meditate on this 24,000 times. Then do we have a will over everything, or is everything predetermined? Very recently, I don't know whether you all have heard about this big thing in the news. An impossible feat happened in Abu Dhabi. The first Hindu mandir was built where even now Muslims are going to pray over there. And the person who envisioned it was in Delhi recently. And I had the good fortune to listen to a bit of what he said. And he exactly brought this up. Is it Purusharth or is it karma? Is it destiny or is it my effort? And he said every single person in the world said it is impossible to build this kind of a mandir. Now, what that kind of a mandir is there, you have to go and see it. It's impossible to build this mandir. I never stopped believing. And apparently what's come out of it is something phenomenal, something out of the ordinary, something out of everybody's imagination. And it is very well accepted. So what he said, what he concluded was, destiny was there, whether this mandir was going to happen or not. But my entire team, he's the Pramukh Swami of BAPS, if you all have heard of that in Hindu organization, Swami Narayan and all. He said, my entire organization and I never stopped believing. We have worked tirelessly. Why go to Abu Dhabi? Ram Mandir. I went to Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, where it was completely destroyed. And what people used to come to pray to in the rubble, believe it or not, in the rubble, there was such a small murti of baby Rama sitting, and people used to line up for hours to pray to that. In rubble, in destruction. Who would have thought one of the biggest icons of life in the world would come up over there? And we've all seen what the result is. Purushartha. So no matter what the circumstances, our Purushartha cannot stop. And an important highlight to this, even when this Pramukh Swami spoke, he said, we were not sure whether it'll ever happen. And perhaps it wouldn't happen. If it didn't happen after all our Purushartha, we would say it was destined not to happen. But till our last breath, our Purushartha would not stop. And so it is with our life, that what is destined is destined. What is destiny? What is standing before us? Our cumulative actions of the past have come and stood before us. There's no way you can go back into the past and change that. The effect, if I've thrown a ball up, it's going to come down on my head unless I move. How to move is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches us. How to move is the Purusharth that we come to. So very, very important to understand. Yes, there is destiny, unchangeable destiny within us, but our Purusharth should not stop, because in that Purusharth is where grace steps in. When you are enough with it, that's where grace steps in and bends laws. We've all seen how the Mahabharata war was won. With Arjuna's intellect, it would have been a hard battle, as great as he was. But with what we call Krishna's cheating, it wasn't cheating. It was grace, where unrighteousness had to be plunged down with something out of the ordinary for righteousness to win over that. So very important to understand. If God is just, why is life unfair? Very quickly, I'll go over this, is that, like Rajesh said, it's not immediate. Okay, many times, especially small little Bal Vihar children come and say, I worked so hard for this audition, I never got, and this person doesn't even know how to dance, and that person got in. So you have to understand whatever is fructifying in our life over here could be coming from many, many past lives before. Like Dhritarashtra asked this question to, in the Mahabharata, is that why all my 100 sons have been killed? Not one of the Pandavas have been killed. Why all 100 sons have been killed? And then the story went that he had gone and smashed some eggs, 100 eggs. And that is why this was his repay before many, 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 many lifetimes. He said, why before many lifetimes? Prarabdha, I'm bhogoing over here. So then Krishna immediately, the answer immediately came is that it takes many lifetimes to be able to be worthy of having 100 sons. And now that you've had them, there they are. They've gone. You've paid back the karma. You've settled. So to understand, the main thing is to understand nothing is happening to me without me having caused it. Please understand this. Once you understand this, your life will take on a completely different hue. I promise you that. That when you say, my good that is coming to me, I have not done any good, but here I'm getting luck, there I'm getting luck. It's all coming from the past. And if bad things are happening, I've been such a good person. Why am I suffering? It is something that we have to pay from the past. Very important to understand that. Then different results for different people, exactly the same explanation. Also, one more thing, my teacher explains it very beautifully. If you have a bank balance, and you come with a negative bank balance, you have to work very hard to try and make that negative bank balance equal, like to neutralize it. Then whatever work you're doing from there on, you'll start building on that bank balance, correct? But till you make that balance neutral, till you come to zero, not negative, it is going to feel like I'm doing so much, but I'm getting nothing in return. Whereas there are other people who've come with very positive bank balances. They're not doing much. And you see, oh my God, results. So that understanding is that, okay, I have done things that require me to work harder than the rest. Let me work hard. I will come to that point where all my hard work will pay off and I will start earning merits. So that's another important place where people get very stuck up and they give it up. They're like, spirituality does not help. I'm doing everything right. I'm ticking all the boxes, but it's not working. So that's something that we have to understand. Very important definition I will give you. What is the future? The future is nothing but the past modified in the present. If you get that definition, you'll understand this whole cycle of basic karma that we're talking about, law and effect. The past is coming, it cannot be stopped. In the present, how you meet it, how you modify it will skew. I love that word that Rajesh ji uses, skew your future trajectory. So that's something that we have to understand. Another line that is very helpful is, life is not happening to me. Life is happening for me. If you understand this when you're studying karma, life is your eternal cheerleader. It wants you to win. It wants your consciousness to evolve. And it will do anything to make your consciousness evolve. Like a mother who really cares for the child. They'll love that child into goodness. They'll beat that child into goodness. They'll shout at that child into goodness. But what is the aim of the mother? Mera bacha kuch ho jaye. So each human life which has come to us after so much effort is that the life becomes a mother and says, get it right now, or at least come somewhere towards the right. So life is your eternal teacher. If you understand this, it is happening for me, for my good. Even the worst of circumstances, how you meet what is coming will become easier and easier for you. Also, in when Rajesh ji said, that it's in our hands, Purushartha. I'm sure all of you are going to say, no, I've tried. I've done everything. I know what to do. I'm not able to do it. It's not happening. Again, a person like Arjuna who had gone to, full Gurukul, who was raised as a Raj Rishi, who was, so well he was raised. He had all this knowledge. He falls down on his knees in front of Krishna in chapter 6, in chapter 3, verse 36. That's the exact verse. You can go back and read it. And he asks Krishna, I know what is right. Why am I doing what is wrong? Hand on your heart. Don't you all feel that when you're trying to address karma? You all know what is right to do. We, not y'all. We know what is right to do. Yet something is propelling us. He says, what is that force that is propelling me to do exactly the opposite of what I'm meant to do? And Krishna so beautifully says that it is that desire. It is that, which is born of rajas. And then it is the anger when that desire is not fulfilled that will keep propelling you in the opposite direction. So please understand, don't over obsess over Purusharth as well. Because even in Purusharth, when you're trying and trying and trying and trying, there will be forces that will continuously block your path. But rest assured, if you continue to study, especially the Gita, I mean, all scriptures are amazing, but especially the Gita, if you continue to study it with due diligence, there will be an interior revamp, interior designing of your own mentality that will help you to overcome these obstructions that you yourself are causing for yourself. A beautiful prayer, one tip, to take home is that from this moment onwards, where you understand in the beautiful slides that Rajesh ji presented, there is karma that we understand, there is karma that we don't understand. And he brought up those words, kayena, manasendriya, all of that. There's this beautiful prayer in our Shastras, which say, you all have all heard it. Kayena vacha manasendriyirva buddhyatmana va prakriti swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. It simply means start from today. Yes, I'm trying to understand karma. Yes, I'm trying to understand what I should do right with my body, what I should do right with my mind, what I should do right with my intellect. I'm trying, God, but I'm offering whatever I'm doing, whether it's right or wrong, I'm offering it unto your feet. You do the rest. So just to have right at the onset of these series, if you bring in that, because we have studied this in quite great detail, Ishvara Paridhana, we've done it. I mean, if those things have not gotten into your head so far, you need to bring them into the forefront of your consciousness. The Prasad Buddhi, Ishvara Paridhana, because this is what will build the Gita. So start from today. There are things I understand, there are things that I don't. Whatever I don't understand, I give it to you. You please take and work as consciously as you can. Finally, I'll end with, why does this law matter? Why is it important to understand the law of karma? First and foremost, to understand that karma is only coming to the body, to the mind, to the intellect. As Rajesh rightly said, What you do with your body is going to bring back karma. What you do with your mind is going to bring back karma. What you do with your intellect is going to bring back karma. This is an infallible law of nature, as is the law of gravity, which says that anything that falls from the sky will hit the ground 32 feet per second per second. So this cannot be changed. But we have so wonderfully spent so much time in studying in chapter 2 the introductory nature of the Atma, which Krishna has repeatedly declared till verse 25, you are that, you are that, you are that. Tattvamasi, the entire Bhagavad Gita is Tattvamasi. So now, if you understand the law of karma and you immediately start reorienting yourself, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I am the Atma, then you will be able to play this law of karma much better once you understand it. So start reorienting. That is one thing. And the second reason why it empowers, why it is important to understand this, it is all empowering. You don't sit back anymore and say that it doesn't matter. You know, it's all karma. You don't say that. You start saying, okay, let it be. If it's karma, I'm going to try the best I can to be able to navigate this nicely. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God within you, and all else will be added unto you. Krishna says in chapter 9, verse 22, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janav paryupasate, that beautiful verse where he says, you just focus on me, and whatever needs to be brought to you or given to you, protected for you, I will do it. That does not mean he will actually bring it. You will do the right things. You will perform the right karmas to get it for yourself. So please understand this, that as long as you are scripturally attuned, Bhagavad Gita, kinchita dita, even if you're a little bit attuned to the scriptures, then you would be able to navigate this karma and fulfill what Krishna says in chapter 6, that those who have worked hard on the spiritual path will be born into purer families, will be born into wealthier families, will be born into the families of yogis. One thing I will remind you all, think today, no matter which family you've been born into, no matter what your circumstances have been, I don't know where all you all are living right now. Most of you all seem to be from the US. In such diverse situations and scenarios, you all have come back to the scriptures. You all have come back to the Bhagavad Gita. Many of you all will swear, I had no background of this. Nobody in my family is pursuing. Why you? That is the accumulation of all the karma that will be born as your prarabdha in your future lives. So with that, I'd like to say is think of what we have studied. Don't disconnect the two. This is not a separate series, please. This entire series is to continue chapter 2, to come to that all-important verse, Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, the most quoted and most misunderstood verse in the world. So we need this understanding of karma properly to traverse from where we've left off. I am the Atma, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. Atma does not suffer, Atma has no karma, Atma is not the doer. To, okay, I have a body, I have a mind, I have an intellect. How do I work it to be able to realize the Atma and to live a good life in this world?
Sorry, we took a little bit of extra time being the first class. And I know that a lot of people have joined. So don't worry if you don't attend the previous Bhagavad Gita classes. We are not assuming any context. Everything we are covering in this karma series, it will be self-explanatory. It will be grounded on what we are building from today. So don't worry about that. So we'll take care of that. Any one or two questions we'll take. Otherwise, we'll spend more time in Q&A next week.